Hello everybody. In this video, we're going to talk about a very important topic: why more than 100,000 US citizens are stuck abroad, not able to renew their US passports, and also why thousands of green card holders are being denied the opportunity to board flights if they spend more than a year abroad. We'll talk about this and what you can do about it, and the most recent update when it comes to US embassies and consulates abroad, as it comes specifically right now to US citizen services and green card holders. So make sure you watch this video to the end. I'm going to try to give you a lot of good information to follow. Consular appointments for US citizens abroad are almost impossible to get these days. I mentioned before in previous videos, US embassies and consulates are pretty much shut down all over the world. And that's not only applicable for immigrant visas, as I mentioned in previous videos, but it's also impacting US citizens and green card holders. In this video, I'll break down the current crisis, what it means for you, and what we can do about it. So make sure you stick to the end. Hello everybody, and welcome back to our immigration channel. This is the place where you get the most up-to-date immigration news, immigration updates, and everything else that you need to know to make your immigration journey less stressful. My name is Jacob Sapochnik, and I'm an immigration attorney located in San Diego, California, and I help clients in all 50 states and around the world. If you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos, and also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to share this video with more people just like you. In this video, I wanted to cover an area of US embassies and consulates that I haven't touched before. In many previous videos, I'm giving you updates about the status of embassies and consulates, when they're reopening, which ones are reopening. But one issue that we got a lot of calls about and emails and messages is US citizens that are stuck overseas and they're not able to get appointments for the same reasons why immigrants are not able to get immigrant visa appointments, because the embassies are closed, because the embassies are working on a very low capacity, and because appointments are virtually impossible to get. There's about 9 million US citizens currently living abroad. And what it seems at the moment, that more than 100,000 of them are not able to get appointments to renew their passports so they're able to travel back to the United States or other countries. At the same time, there are hundreds of thousands of green card holders that are also stuck overseas more than a year because they were not able to make travel arrangements to come back to the United States because of the pandemic. As you know, green card holders that spend more than a year abroad are facing the risk of losing their green card if they're not able to apply for a re-entry permit or for a returning resident visa to be able to come back to the United States. But guess what? There's no appointments to apply for returning resident visas as well. Just like with immigrant visas, embassies and consulates around the world remain closed, and the ones that open are working in a very limited capacity. The problem is that you can't get appointments right now, even if you try. Take Israel, for example. There is a backlog of more than 15,000 passport applications at the US Embassy in Jerusalem. And in Mexico, which has the largest number of expats in the world, there's zero appointment at the US Embassy in Mexico City. Zero. Which means those expats who need to renew passports over there are literally stuck. And if you have a child born abroad and you're a US citizen, good luck to try to register the child at the US Embassy. Getting an appointment right now in Europe is virtually impossible. As I mentioned to your previous videos, as of late April 2021, 75% of US embassies and consulates abroad remain closed. 75%, that's crazy. That also applies to immigrant visas if you're trying to apply for an immigrant visa for your spouse or a child. As I mentioned before, in January of 2020, there was a backlog of 75,000 immigrant visas waiting for the interview. Fast forward 1 year, February 2021, the backlog increased to 473,000 immigrant visas pending an interview. And that's just immigrant visas. Now imagine what's happening with US citizens trying to get passports. It's virtually impossible right now to get appointments, to get a passport, to travel from a foreign country to the United States. If you're trying to renew a passport inside the United States, you can mail your application to the State Department. It's going to take about 10 to 12 weeks, and if you expedite, you can cut short another 2 weeks. That process is not available overseas because the actual embassies are processing that application. And if they don't have appointments, you're not able to get your passport renewed and leave the foreign country to come back home. So a few things you can do is, if you're stuck overseas and your passport is about to expire, but it's not expired yet, make sure you travel before your passport expires and try to get on US soil to be able to renew it, because inside the United States, you can get a passport renewed in less than 8 weeks, which is not bad. You can spend a couple of months in the United States, get your passport renewed, and then go back to the foreign country to do whatever you're doing over there. But if you have that option, make sure you do it, because I think a lot of US citizens didn't expect the fact that they're not going to be able to get appointments in their own US embassy in the foreign country where they reside. Now, a lot of the US embassies have an online system. It is really important to check that online system on a daily basis, because sometimes 1 or 2 appointments do pop up. If you're diligent and you check it on a daily basis, you may be able to scoop that appointment. And finally, there are different broker services that are able to help secure an appointment, and if you're desperate, you may be able to use those brokers to actually get you an appointment if you're desperate and need to travel. That's what I recommend for US citizens who are watching these videos and they're trying to get an appointment to get their passport renewed. Remember, as the US embassies and consulates start to slowly reopen, it is important for you to start to stay in touch with the individual embassy in the foreign country where you're located to be able to get the most up-to-date information as to when they reopen, or at least when they can have a spot to get that appointment for you to renew your passport. Now let's talk about green card holders. Green card holders that are stranded overseas, they're not able to get returning resident visas to be able to come back to the United States. I would encourage them to still travel when they can, with enough evidence to show that the only reason why they were not able to come back before the end of the year is because of COVID, is because there were no flights to leave, is because of circumstances beyond their control, and most importantly, to show that you tried to leave but you couldn't because flights were canceled. Come with those documents, fly to the United States, and when you encounter CBP, you're able to show them that that's what happened. Now, for those green card holders that are not able to board flights, because some airlines are not even letting them go because they say that they already violated their status and they're not able to enter the United States, in those cases, you need to contact the CBP liaison group, either through a supervisor of the airline or directly, to get an opinion from the CBP liaison group to allow you to board a flight and actually explain the airline that you are eligible to board because you have enough documents to prove that the reason why you were overseas and you were not able to come back before is beyond your control. Don't give up. Make sure that you do that, because I have so many cases of people that are not able to come in right now, and they should be able to do so as long as they have the minimum evidence to justify the trip back to the United States. All in all, US citizens who are stuck overseas, there is hope. Again, the State Department is under complete chaos right now, both for immigrant visas and for US citizens, and it's time for them to step up, to start getting the facilities open, to be able to accommodate more people. It's crazy that more than 100,000 US citizens are not able to come home, and this situation must be resolved right now. So once again, if you have any questions, post them in the comments below. Let me know what you think, and if you need assistance with that, you're welcome to contact our office. We're happy to do our best to see what we can do to help you. Once again, if you're here for the first time, click the notification bell, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos, and also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to share this video with more people just like you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.